Letter to Beau of the fifth column. Well, afternoon, Justin King from West Coast. Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. The guy that does the Diary of a Griever named John Weaver. Yeah, I get my own history stuff going on there too, in the political stuff. But you, unfortunately, keep stepping your foot into it. You don't check for landmines, and you just didn't check for this one. All right. Regarding let's talk of the history lesson for the powerful. No, they already know what's going on. It's the layman doesn't know what's going on, and you keep disregarding them. Yeah, they got to get up to speed on foreign policy, because if not, it's going to get more and more out of touch with them. They'll see the images and react to it like a knee-jerk reaction, but there's more to it, a story, than you realize. If you're supposed to be a journalist, you understand an image has stories behind it. Shall we go back on the history lesson of the world or the United States on how media has been influencing us a great deal since the Revolutionary War? Nobody would know about the Revolutionary War except through the word of mouth and of a courier and of letters that was passed to the 13 colonies. We had the power of the press and a viewpoint and a slant, if you will, addressing these concerns to the public, motivating them. Power of the word, power of the letter, power of the press. We didn't have the images. We had the word of mouth. So with the word of mouth, we could create and instill emotions by crafting the language. Civil War, you barely had photography coming out during that time. And you had actors to reenact the battle scenes where they could take photographs of it. But you still had people have to write the information. All the way through World War One, where if we were lucky enough, we got film over it. But mostly, we had still images. And we still have the crafted word to educate people left and right what was going on. And in a sense, they would understand if they were actually able to read the language in the first place and comprehend it. And ask questions. Why? Maybe not many people were educated enough. But if they could understand the language, they could still ask the questions. Why? They could still ask to the right person if they were directed to. Why? Without technology. World War II happened. Now we have films. Yes, they were subjugated by the War Department of what can be crafted into an image, into a slant where people would look at this and react to it. How the hell do you think the people have reacted when they saw the pictures in the paper and the headlines when Pearl Harbor was attacked? Home soil, or almost practically, got attacked. Philippines ticked off a lot of people, yeah. Europe was affecting us, but we didn't get ticked off enough. We didn't get angry enough because we weren't attacked enough, probably. We saw transports going out there in the Atlantic Ocean get nailed by the U-boats. If we heard it, if we actually read about it, we'd react to it. Not until Pearl Harbor did we actually react in the strongest way, and the Japanese knew that. They tried to get that message across. A little too late on that one. So we had all hell breaking loose. And then we had our photographers, and then we had the guys running the films, trying to capture a slant of certain viewpoint of what was going on. But we were getting a taste of what foreign policy was. What do we know about foreign policy? What is the definition for foreign policy? Good Lord, did you ever actually decide to educate the masses on that one? Hell, you can Google this damn thing. Shall we look at the Google? Shall we look at Britannica.com or Thought.com or even Merriam-Webster? Hey, Merriam-Webster, that's a good one. Let's go for that one, shall we? Okay, posted back in April 24th of 2024. Foreign powers policy, a noun. The policy of a sovereign state in its interaction with other sovereign states. Wow! Interaction! What does that mean? Give and take with the verbal and give and take with the physical. We've had foreign policy for a hell of a long while. Even before we had the power of the press. We've had foreign policy happening throughout human history. Recorded history. If you want to look at the biblical text, we had foreign policy in there. If you want to look at the historical, such as the Roman empires or the Byzantine empires or even Egyptian. Mostly the Roman Empire, I think. And certain other empires happening during that time. Your foreign policy was at work. And the only way to get it, to understand it, was verbal mouth and also interactive. I'm a Roman soldier. I've got a sword in my hand. And I declare that you are a pain in the ass. Fudoink! There's my foreign policy. Deal with it. That's an interaction. Oh, you're of the other state. Okay. Fudoink! Now, you're going to surrender or am I going to do another fudoink on you? I am a pirate on the oceans. I am a sovereign state of my own. And yet, I am commissioned by a country to cause chaos, confusion, and rob the living crap out of another boat from another country. Foreign policy. People don't understand it because they don't want to read history. Foreign policy is in there, in the language, in the stories. Come on. You got to say it. We know foreign policy. We're just not looking at someone else's definition of the damn thing. But we study history. If we read the stories, if we happen to see the theatrics, we're seeing foreign policy. Star Wars. Foreign policy of galactic empire versus the rebels of different planets. Star Trek. Hello. Give me a break on this shit. God bless it, I swear to God. If you had been in journalism classes, if you had been around and abroad, if you had read a few things left and right, I'm saying, as a kid, I was a voracious reader. I was subjugated to foreign policy all the time. I'm 58 years old. You've got to be in the same age bracket, or maybe a little bit younger. Surely you would have heard about radio. Surely you would have heard about television. Try having foreign policy. And as you were trying to talk about the wars, what was the difference? Besides the language being introduced to us, now we get the imagery. We've had the imagery for a hell of a long while. Yes, doctored up, but we had the foreign policy happening right in front of us. An interaction of one country happening to us. Vietnam we thought it was different because it had more and more energy of it. Korean War, we didn't know where Korea was. Unless we were reading the papers and trying to read about it and then try to go for a atlas to figure out where that country was. And ask ourselves, why? How is this important to me? Well, here comes the foreign craftsmanship of our leaders in our government systems. We're telling you what foreign policy is all about. We're telling you what we believe in and what we're going through. Did you believe it or did you not believe it? We had the Red Scare. We had the Minnesota Red Scare. Back in the 1890s when Karl Marx sent that information of his to the European theater, to the European countries, affecting them. Then we had to filter it over into the United States. What do you think drove the FBI crazy at this point? Foreign policy! We had the menace of the Red Scare, an interactive thing from one country to another, because it was influencing people's values and judgments and everything else. We will torture you with our Red Scare, with the fear, because we manipulate not images, but the stories, the language, the dramatics of it. Goodness gracious, Beau. We got to get you up to speed, I swear. I had never taken a theater class. I'm in community college. I'm in there for several years in my adult life. I screwed up school when I was a kid because I didn't understand, didn't have the context. I didn't have what it takes, I thought, during that time to understand what the hell they're force feeding me down my throat. But I listened. Didn't mean I was very good at it, but it sticks in the head somewhere. Especially when you keep seeing the images on television. Oh my God, television! Shall we go back to that? Vietnam War. When you see people in a dead body, in a body bag, in a coffin draped situation coming off the planes, or let alone hear about POWs coming home and you didn't know what the hell was going on. Or even worse, when your gas prices are going crazy because OPEC went nuts. How's that grab you? Or oil production would be going crazy, which would drive up the gas prices because we had two countries trying to kill each other. And it took a president to keep two countries from trying to kill each other. And how about the word of mouth that if Iran, when they got taken over, ever developed nuclear technology, limited as it is, they could actually develop it into weapon technology? How did that grab us? Bad enough when I had to keep studying about Russia and dropping underneath the table. And not just for the nuclear bomb, we did it because of earthquakes. We had foreign policy of the earth, science, geology, movement, hidden, sudden, quick, shake you up, scare the crap out of you, make a building fall on top of your head. But a sturdy, stable desk is going to be preventing you from that. Or let alone, if we went back a few years on this one, how about the Red Scare? Again with the Red Scare. The communists are coming out with a nuclear bomb ready to blow your city. The kingdom come! But you have to hide under a damn flimsy desk while a massive radioactive heat wave comes crashing through your windows, through brick walls and everything else. And then you're dead. How's that for foreign policy for you? And being reminded out on television shows and movies, leaving you scarred for life. How's that for foreign policy? So yeah, we were inflicted, and informed of foreign policy one way or another. These people just don't see it. But they got it stuck in their heads, in their little subconscious in there somewhere, floating around, ready to be used, ready to strike fear and terror in everybody else because they can use that weapon of knowledge. And it's up to each one of us happen to use that knowledge to counteract these assholes and assholerettes. What's my job? Oh, I'm here simply to keep my sanity going on my channel. Originally, what I kept saying to people. But when it comes time for politics, kind of touchy. And yes, according to the madam psychopath that tried to remove the speaker out of there, one way or another. Or how about the lunatic senator in Texas saying something about Sharia law in England is going to affect us over here? And hearing all these nice, lovely, independent agencies out there, including one guy who's trying to make it, actually several people are trying to make it clear that one guy's ranting and raving, trying to bring up the fear and terror because we have Sharia law coming. Oh my God, they're in England, they're coming over here. No! We already had it going, you schmucks. People just don't put it together, unfortunately. People don't want to hear it, but they're hearing it. As I said before, language, paper, visual, audio. Whether it be controlled or not, they are hearing it. They are educated. But are they, quote unquote, properly educated? Define that one. As I said before, what was that S word I kept using? What was that S word? Say it again. Slant. Shall we do a definition on that one? Let's do a definition on that one. I like to do a definition on that one if I can. If I can get this damn thing to work. Work already, damn it. Oh, shit. Damn computer systems. come on, you little slant. I could put the thesaurus on the thing. Come on, damn it. Now it's technology. Sometimes I hit a wrong button and all that, and the screen just goes. So right now I'm trying to get this thing. There we go. Okay. Thank you. That works. Okay. Slant. Verb. To take a diagonal course, direction, or path. Wasn't it? Was it? Okay. To turn or incline from a right line or a level. Or slope. Doesn't work, does it? No. But that is part of it. How about this one? Transitive verb. To give an oblique or sloping direction to. Or to interpret or present in a line with a special interest. Ooh! Stories slanted towards youth. Well, that's an example. Or how about this one? Especially, to maliciously or dishonestly distort or falsified. Ooh. And if we're looking at a noun at this point, I mean, that was just a verb. Verb's an action word. Okay. To slant to something solid, like a mouse. A particular or personal point of view, attitude, or opinion. Catch the point? You're talking about viewpoints. You're talking about something of a topic. Sometimes I have to bring this out on a constant basis. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon cover. What do you see on it? I'll take a few seconds for you to Google that one there. So much for the musical interlude. So what you discovered? Ah, there is a pyramid! Of course. Is it a glass or pyramid? Okay, well, what's going into it on the left side of the pyramid? A light. Wow. What's coming on the other light? On the other side? Spectrum. Source. Viewpoints. All looking at it from at different angles. We have our own slant at looking at things. We have our own unique viewpoints. We try to educate ourselves by listening to everybody else, if we can, what the truth of the matter is. Shall we take a camera of ours and document what my fist looks like all around? If I can. If I could. We're going to just do it this way. Okay. So I would have image on this if I was actually taking a shot. It would take viewpoints of this thing. Why am I talking down to you like this? Because sometimes I feel like you're talking down to the people like this because you don't think they're educated enough. Look, if they barely made it out of kindergarten and they made it out of first through sixth grade, I think they've got some kind of intelligence. If not, it's not my problem. It's their problem. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Okay, we are looking at my fist. And we're going to be looking at it from different points of view. And because my fist is still attached to this thing, and I'm trying to get a good viewpoint of it. So let's flip this damn thing. Okay. We're going to make people nauseous. So I had just did a 20-second viewpoint to make people sick and throw up because of the viewpoint on this thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post this damn thing on my own channel. I'm going to send you a link through your email on this one. And also put it into the descriptive of my own video here, just to show you. Of course, I can do this. So let me get into this one here, and I will show you what the hell happened. So I have a bunch of stuff on this one, don't I? Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so here we go. So, an attempt. If I actually had a camera doing it better, it would do a hell of a better job of looking at it. But I did what I could. But you get the point on this one. Good. Now, what was the difference between World War I through Vietnam? And you were trying to go for the imagery, and you didn't think that foreign policy was necessary. Well, shit, we had it, as I said before, I've indicated, I gave examples on this. We already got the knowledge of foreign policy. We just don't know how to put it into a context we can understand unless something actually happened, and then we put it into context. How about this one? Try locally, instead of dealing with a sovereign state, we'll deal with the states. They're thinking that they're sovereign, that they can get away with things left and right. You have one lunatic, goes from one state to another state, shoots people, gets away with it, gets acquitted, and now he's been trying to run for a Republican position. You talk about being slanted at this point over here. You're talking about a state violating another state's sovereign's rights and everybody else's personal rights by trying to kill people, and then thinks it's so cool. I got a problem with that guy. Or in one particular state close to you or probably in your territory, you carry a gun for protection, but you shoot another guy because he thinks he's a threat, but he's not a threat. But you shoot him anyway. And get off? No, you don't get off. And the people don't forget. And they make your life a living hell because you made their life a living hell. And the victims' families. Personal sovereignty. But now we're dealing with international here. We're dealing with a country that's torn itself apart left and right. But this country, if you looked at history, had been tearing itself apart ever since human history had been able to record information from the regions. So what I keep telling people on my channel, you got to know history. It's not everything, but just get a little bit of a general knowledge of what you're dealing with here. Because they don't care. That's the thing you got to get past. The apathy, the ignorance, the indifference. I don't care about it. It's not my backyard. It's not in my backyard. Why do I care? Until it starts invading. Then what do you do? But, I hear it. I see it. I hear it outside in an area that's supposed to be what? Define that one. Define the what. Yeah, this is going to be a ranting and raving I'm going to be putting on my own channel anyway. But you got to understand, dude. You're talking about foreign policy and you think that people aren't caring enough about it. Some people do. And other people really don't give a shit because it doesn't affect them until it does. One way or another. They will learn their foreign policy one way or another. They think blacks are still a foreign commodity coming from Africa. At least maybe a few of them out there are still saying that blacks are, what are they? Or the people coming from the southern border. It's like, oh my God, what the hell are they? Well, they're people coming from other countries trying to get into our country because they assume that we have it better. They haven't been paying attention much, have they? But they don't have the ability to do so. But they hold on to a dream. They hold on to an idea, an ideal, a slant. And that's what drives them. And this is what we have to educate people about. Yeah, you're doing a hell of a job for years, trying to tell people what's going on. You're trying to educate them how things are. What was my job in life? Taking care of two people that mattered the most to me in my life. It wasn't taking care of the earth or global or anything else regarding it. I was only taking care of my family. My family was my world. See that? Did you already guess a long time ago? I got urns in the top shelf. The main reason why I do the Diary of the Graver named John Weaver is to get through my own personal nightmares, my own personal dramas that have an effect on people around me. And they have an effect on me. And in order for me to keep up relations, good, bad, or indifferent, I have to communicate constantly. Because if I don't, I have opportunities of having a heavy-duty knock on the door from other people wondering what the hell is going on with me. What do you mean? We didn't hear from you for about a week or two. What's going on with you? I've been here, just emotionally knocked out. And you know what hurts the most there? You know what hurts the most there, Just? I mean, talk to them face to face. Try to indicate that everything is okay. Well, maybe hours earlier, it wasn't. I could have international or national situations that will affect me. When Queen Elizabeth II died, I felt like my heart was rendered. I thought somebody took it out and put it into a Cuisinart and ground it up while it was still beating. I felt my world ended because I saw someone who represented my grandmother in my world, aslant, got straightened up, and things slid down into the garbage disposal. Or how about if you knew a popular singer or an actor that really made a difference in your life and they're no longer on the earth suddenly? Or how about a TV newscaster that achieved global fame, loved by all, makes your life a living hell after that? You talk about your slants. You're talking about the viewpoints. You're seeing everybody else's viewpoints. And you're both sharing the same light on this one, on the topic. You think that's that foreign policy. Well, when you have entertainment crossing lines of countries, of borders, when you have other actors and actresses come out and say how sorry they are because this one guy that they knew who treated them as decently and human as possible passed away. Or how about decades earlier, back in the 90s, the early 2000s, I think, somewhere in that time zone, we had we had the world's popular princess trying to avoid the camera and ended up a martyr. To this day, her family still suffers. To those who remembered her, suffer. Foreign policy doesn't have to be about governments. It doesn't have to be sovereignty. It's also individuals that make a dent. It's called perspective. You get older, it gets worse. Much worse. Much like on my channel, I deal with this on a constant basis. Not just the foreign policy, not just foreign actors coming into my life. The foreign actors I have are memories. What is today's date? And what is today's day that means something to you? And if that special person is still alive, You hug that person a great deal and don't let go. You let go and you'll regret it. In here, I happen to let go of the memories of them, and I will regret it because I will dealing with more of the absence and of the pain and of the hurt. That is my foreign policy, my sovereignty, the memories, perspective, perspective, and context. Keep those in mind when you do your reports.